Hello, hello, hello. Kyle, A0Z. Welcome to the channel. And so we're here to talk about the new announcement Flex just announced. Let me bring up the post. If you go to their Facebook page, let me see if I can get this over here to the right screen and bring it up. I got to share this. Let me share my screen here, entire screen. Share, and let me add it to the scene here. Let me take the... So this is what they posted on Facebook about, I don't know, well, it says 7 hours ago. Doing what we do best, innovating. We're unveiling our newest product May 17th through 19th at Dayton Hamvention, and then it's got this... Looks like a radio that has got a cover on it, a very poorly put cover. It's it doesn't even fit. But yeah, so this is what they announced today on Facebook, and from what I understand, there was a post on Flex's website that somebody pulled, and it was talking about a new Flex and where you could put a down payment on a new Flex. And of course, the page got yanked very quickly. And now the speculation has started on what this thing really is. And we've got some interesting people giving some interesting comments in the chat. We want to hear what your thoughts are in the chat on what this might be. But first, let's say hello to our guest here, Sebastian. Hello, how are you?
How are you, Kyle?
Good.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
More FlexRadio, more products. Yes, more new radios. I want more.
And then we got Jason. Hello, Jason.
Hello, Kyle.
And Rob. Hey, Rob.
Hey, guys. Jason giving us the silent treatment, or what's going on there?
Mm-hmm. I just did a bunch of squats, and I can't.
Him.
Oh, hey, you can't hear me? Can you hear me, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't hear him. So
Interesting. Sebastian, can you hear Jason?
I can hear him. I'm trying to pretend I'm not, but I can't.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's par for the course.
All right.
Well, that's all right. We'll work through that. Hey, I've got my fingers crossed that this isn't necessarily a radio, but maybe a radio module, right, to further enhance the radio I've already got. I've got a few things in mind I'd love to see. So, fingers crossed.
I think the thing that has been people have been wanting for a while is a QRP version.
I was saying that it's a 6405.
Yeah. Right.
So
it's a Maestro with the built-in transceiver with the 10 watt.
Maestro, that you can take to the park and operate at like 15 watt.
I like Ron's suggestion in the chat, a Flex truck. We've got the Cybertruck already, so we need a Flex truck. I think that would be a thing.
I mean, I hope it's not just like a power supply.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they'd do that to us.
Well, Jeff says it's a KX2 or a KX3 killer.
That's speculation,
right? There's also the crazy stuff like a blender and a toaster,
and it looks more like an air fryer.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's going to be the first air fryer that's powered by smart SDR.
Most likely, Kyle, it's a new square drop trailer. Now that you've bought your hiker, it's a new square drop trailer with the built-in antenna mast that's automatically goes up, and it has the display screen in it to power your radio.
It could be.
Now that you've already invested in hiker, that's probably what it is.
So before we even get started, I'm sure that there's probably people from Flex that are either watching right now or they are going to be watching this stream. This is all speculation, right? We don't know. None of us on the stream work for Flex, nor do we have inside information, nor are we on the alpha team. I don't think anybody is on the alpha team, right?
I can't tell you, or else I'd have to kill you.
That is a big fat.
This
no.
isn't even educated speculation.
No, it's not educated.
This is just for entertainment. I love how I think some of the other manufacturers, whenever they start talking about bringing new products to market, and then the YouTubers go on and make claims about what it is and what it isn't, they go crazy because they're just like, you guys have it all wrong. And this is nothing more than us basically voicing our opinions and our thoughts on a stream versus typing them on a public chat or a forum and making weird assumptions and outlandish demands and all of the other stuff that go on in the forums. Just, it's just a different format. So it's all speculation. Don't take anything that we say to heart, because we have no idea. We're just sitting here having some fun and talking around the campfire and making conversation.
Yep.
But I do like some of the comments here. Who had, let's see. Yeah, Ron said it was a Flex truck. Mm-hmm. That's great. Some people think that it's a precursor to, I'm sorry, it's a replacement for the 6700. So that's the radio that I have. Is the 6700, and they discontinued that radio last year, right? And so they weren't going to make it. Another speculation thought is, I know that Steve Hicks is really into VHF and UHF. Steve Hicks is their main technology guy, right? He's the CTO or the guy that, he is the brainchild behind a lot of the new technologies that Flex offers. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a 9700 killer.
Like a VHF and up.
Yeah.
VHF and up for satellite operators.
So basically a Wi-Fi router.
A Wi-Fi router, yes. So, that would be cool that you don't have to buy, if you want to work satellites with the Flex, you got to buy, these transverters from, sometimes you have to get them from Russia or Ukraine or, I'm not into that stuff, but it would be nice that if Flex had an offering that they could, you could buy for satellites and do satellites easily. I know that it is very easy to, or not easy, but it's easier to see what's going on with the satellite and its pass and do the Doppler shift automatic on the Flex radio, because it just automatically does it with what's the software, Robert, that is it SAT32? Is that what it is?
Well, there's a few of them out there. I think SAT32 is one of those. But that's what I was alluding to, right? I would love to see like a transverter module or some sort of add-on that allows you to get to those higher bands, right? That'd be fantastic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tom says upgrade to the Flex 6700 8 streams with the Maestro C on the front. So a 6700M. Yep. Could be. That could be something that
probably called a 6800, because the 6400 was a replacement for the 6300 and the 6600 was a replacement for the 6500. So the 63, 65, and 67 all came out right about the same time.
Right.
And they don't really have a replacement for the 67 yet. So a 6800 would make sense, or a 6800 and or a 6800M would make sense.
Yeah.
But you think that they'd sell more 6800s or more, like, call it the 8000, the VHF and up?
That's a good question. That's a good question. It depends on what different offerings a new HF radio would have over their current HF offerings. They've never really been into the VHF UHF game before. So all of their loyal HF users might be interested in that. or they might be interested in upgrading to a latest and greatest HF radio if a new HF version had a lot of extra bells and whistles that the current HF versions don't have. So I don't know. I mean, that's I don't know. Good question. I'd be interested to see a market. I'd be interested to see a market test on that, but I don't think we're going to see that. I think they're just going to announce whatever it is at Dayton, and yep, there it is. You know, that I don't think they're going to do a test like that.
They probably know if they sell enough 6600s versus 6700s to justify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 67.
Right. Yeah, I would guess so. Yeah.
I mean, they know. I mean, obviously they've done the market research.
They know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Are you saying we don't know?
We don't know.
That we're just wildly guessing.
I mean, I would say, you know, that's a good question. I don't know. I would like to see, and I have never looked this up, I would like to see market research about how popular the 9700 was and still is as compared to, you know, because I think there's a bigger market for HF than anything, even though you can use VHF, UHF as a technician, but the 9700 is an expensive technician class radio.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing satellites, then great. That's kind of its own thing. But I don't know. It's a good question. It's a lot of we can speculate about that all night. I don't know what the right answer is, though.
Yeah. You know, someone in the chat here said 8 slices. What do you do with 8 slices? You have not unleashed the power of Smart SDR and WSJT and having literally 4 to 6 slices open at once and monitoring every single band and being able just to click whatever QSO, whatever station you want to contact. It just automatically routes all that stuff in the background. You don't have to do a thing. It is great.
Very plug and
There's
play.
my little advertising for Grid Tracker, other projects I'm involved in. That's a great way to do that.
Yep.
It's that's what you do with 8 slices, or even like if you're contesting, you can be monitoring other bands and decoding, and like even you're contesting on 2 bands and you have FT8 going on to see what the propagation looks like just by monitoring what you can hear. It's still 8 slices is kind of overkill. You could do 4 slices. I'd rather get 4 slices with better filtering than 8 slices, for example.
Yeah. Well, and some people, you know, it's kind of the way that you operate too, right? I mean, some people have information overload, right? And 2 slices is enough. And then other people are like, hey, the more information, the better, you know? So, and I believe that, you know, it's part of the we're going to give you more slices for a bigger bang for your buck, right? So one of the things that they probably needed to do was, all right, we're going to have the 6400 with 2 slices, and then the 6600 with 4 slices. Well, we need the flagship. You know, do we do the 8 slices, or maybe they started with 8 slices and they're like, well, that's unrealistic. We need to pare that down, because I think the 6700 came. Well, the Signature series came out first, I believe, and then only a few of those went out, and then the 6700 came out, and then I believe the 6300 came out after that. I'm not really sure. I'm sure that somebody on the chat will correct me on that, but yeah. There's a lot of talk about AI in the chat also. That would be interesting to integrate some type of AI in Smart SDR.
It will make up context for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know if do they need to release any new hardware to introduce AI, right? They would just do that via software, I would think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, right. If we want to go into wild speculation mode, right, knowing that amateur radio is just a small slice of what FlexRadio does on a bigger scale, right? What type of trickle down technology
That's
could
what I was
be.
going to suggest. They've been busy lately with some government contracts, developing some fancy new radios. What if they're bringing some of that down to a next generation, and that's why maybe they're calling it the 800 series or whatnot, and it's sure it might be 8 slices or 4 slices, or maybe it can do 160 meters, 2 gigahertz. Like maybe they have like 2 extra slices for the VHF.
Yeah,
who knows? That'll be kind of like the dream. I think that they have done well covering the middle of the range with the 64 and the 6600. The 67 is a bit old, so maybe they're coming up, like it's either coming up something new at the very top of the line that would be like their flagship next generation. This is all we learned in the last 10 years doing government radios that can survive, like could be in an airplane and survive all the radiation and whatnot, or like a very new entry level $1,500 1 slice or 1.5 slice, like 2 slices but no filtering or that kind of thing. Although the size of the box in the photo looks more like a larger box, not an entry level.
Right. Well, maybe they're confusing us. Maybe they've got a large.
That's a red
there.
herring.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, whatever it is, mission accomplished, right? They kind of whipped up a big frenzy here.
Yeah.
Right? They let's put something out there. Oh, let's pull it down real quick. Let's get everyone all fired up. So
yeah, that was
to them.
That was a leak.
Mission accomplished in terms of creating
leak.
some
It was a mistake.
Anticipation ahead of the show.
Right. Correct.
So Trucker off of the Flex Radio forums, if you go to community.flexradio.com at 4:38 today, he said, I think it's going to be a portable DC to daylight all mode transceiver. POTA is becoming quite popular, and currently Flex Radio has no replacement on the discontinued 1500.
I hope that is right, but I'm also like, who cares about a 1500? If your theory about the military trickling down, then it's not going to be a QRP rig.
No.
So it's going to be one or the other. I don't know why anybody would want a replacement. I mean, a replacement for the 1500. Why? Because it's so small? Okay. That makes sense, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, you can...
also...
Go ahead.
It also makes sense to start thinking about, like, whatever they did for the government, taking the manufacturing process and the parts they're using there and rebuilding their line using newer chips. It doesn't seem like Flex suffered much from the chip supply, all the problems in the last few years, but it's still smart for companies to every now and then update their architecture and like bring new chips that have like 20 more years of life ahead of them instead of being at the end of the life cycle. That seems to have been what happened to Kenwood with a bunch of their radios, especially the handhelds, for example. Why not do that and bring a new, like the Superflex 8600, 8700, whatever, with their 8 streams and the new processor that can do double the sampling rate and all of that, and just have a new, the flagship. I feel like they don't have a good flagship. All the radios are good.
I don't know.
The
6600 is like
it's the closest thing.
It's the number 3 or 4 on the Sherwood reports. And
yeah,
when you talk to Mike Walker and you ask him about the 6700, which was number 2 in the Sherwood reports for a long time, I don't know where it rated. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but he was like, the 6600 is nearly the same thing, and it's got better. It's got updated hardware that's going to last longer, this kind of thing. So I don't know. I think they would consider the 6600 to be their flagship.
That is their current flagship. Yeah. But they don't have a radio that if you are retired and you have money, you don't know what to do with, that you want to have a radio better than your neighbor. They don't have that radio.
Well,
the
everything they
66
have is better than their neighbor. So I mean, that's you're talking about the top of the line radio out there. No, I see what you're saying. No, you're not wrong. Yeah, it could be something like that. I mean, I think a QRP radio would be on the other end of that spectrum. So either it's going to be like a QRP something, or it's going to be like a top of the line something. But
welcome, Josh.
Yo, how's it going? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
What do you think of the new 6605?
I couldn't make it in time because I agree with Digital Rancher. I think they're going to parlay their military contracts. Why would you not? If you
of course.
If you're spending a lot of money for R&D, and not even just R&D, like whatever they're bringing to the market in that space, why wouldn't you leverage some of that? Unless it's like, some real top secret stuff, right? That you can't they're under contract to not parlay it, but there's still going to be some reusable stuff that they'll be able to apply. So I'm excited. You always got to be excited when you go to a Hamvention and there's talk of a new radio, right? We love that.
Right.
There's nothing that makes us happier, right?
Look at the stream. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's speculation hour, kids. Are we all
right? Yeah.
I saw the comments. Jason's good at speculating. I love that. I heard Jason earlier. I couldn't join in time, but yeah, you guys, this is great. Everybody's excited.
Yeah. I mean, and phooey on those people that say that these streams are bad. It just it gets people talking.
Phooey, I say.
Phooey on you.
Phooey.
Absolute
people. Gosh, I shouldn't say that. You know what? I'm not going to say that. I had something to say, but I'm not going to say it. So,
well, it's not your stream. So
that's true. It's not my stream. Hey,
we're more than 7 minutes in, so you can let the F-bombs
it's a bit. No, I wasn't going to say that. It's a very. How do I say this? It's a very non-American. I come Kenwood Yezu. That the idea of there's bad press on social media, which doesn't exist. There's no such thing as bad press on social media. So when you get people excited about a product and it's too early.
Well, for the people that when you come out with something and say we're just completely wrong, the people who are like, yeah, and they get a negative opinion, they kind of already had a negative opinion about your brand to begin with. The people that are diehard not diehard, but are good with the brand, okay with the brand, they're not going to let some random dudes speculating on an internet, live stream ruin the brand for them. There's going to be like, well, I'm going to wait and see what it is before I cast my dice for this. Yeah.
People will either buy it or they won't buy it. And it doesn't really matter what we say.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're going to have their opinion.
It's very true.
So Josh, what do you think is underneath that box? You think it's QRP? You think it's a satellite?
It's just a very small box. I think it's a mountain topper copy. It's just a very small sheet. It's actually a handkerchief. What it is.
They borrowed the plastic case from Kenwood.
That's
and they put a brand new little radio inside of the plastic, the plexiglass case.
Hear me out. Size of a mountain topper, one slice, fully remotable. That's all it has. It's just a Cat 5 connection in the back. That's it. You set it up on the mountaintop to count as a sota. Then you go back to your car.
You go back home.
And you go back to your car to finish up the activation.
Built-in solar panel on top of a radio.
Right.
That's it. Built-in solar. I like it. Put the noise directly in the box. That's what we want.
Right. But it has to have an Ethernet cable attached.
That's all it has. That's all it has. Yeah. No other I/O.
So you got to run Ethernet from your car
to
your radio on top of the mountain. That makes sense.
It's also a tuner, and you attach your connection directly to it, and the Ethernet cable is your radial, is your counterpoint.
Yeah, is your radio. Yeah,
that's how it works.
Check out Aaron's comment. That's
what were
gold
those
right
little
there.
screens that were there at Hamvention last year? That like the little. That like 705, they were using the little screens. That's the Maestro Point 5 that they're coming out with the QRP radio.
Yeah.
So you put the Cat 5 in the mountain topper size box, and then you use the tiny screen as the Maestro for the QRP radio.
Right.
That's it. That's what it is. It's the Maestro Point 5. You heard it here first.
Well, actually, whatever. It's too late. I'm going to get in legal trouble because I've been developing Polo portable logger in part to run the new QRP
on Smart SDR.
6605. I'm not supposed to tell this out loud, but it's your stream, Kyle. I wanted to do something special for you. So yeah, that's the new feature that's coming.
That's the secret.
Release 1.0 will have that support for the new Flex 6605.
Tom
will tell you the solar panel charging rate on the phone. So.
Sheesh.
Tom thinks it's an APRS radio.
That's it.
That's just targeted at Mike.
Yeah. Well,
I mean-
I liked what was some of the comments you guys had earlier is like a flagship. I think that seems reasonable. You've got the build the high end and then spec everything down as you come out with new models, or you build the low end and then you spec everything up. I think you guys have already talked about that. A number of other companies have done that. I think the build high and bring that low is always the better way, generally. So that's what this could be, is just capturing all the newish technologies and bring it.
I hope it's not
that.
like a 6600 with 200 watts of power or something like that, or like a small incremental change. I mean, that'll be a nice radio, but it's not exciting.
Right.
Well, maybe they're just bringing the current technology down, right? Maybe it's a one slice 6600 USB dongle.
The 6200.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. That's a great idea. Yeah.
What's really changed in the area of SDRs though? Like, there hasn't been that much of an improvement other than adding more slices. Like, you maybe get a couple more bits as far as capability, but it hasn't drastically improved to the point that anything they have is needing of a major upgrade.
I mean, that's a very good observation. Look at the 6700, the rig that I have. That thing is 10 years old, and I still run it on. I've got a Celeron processor at the contest station, and I still run all 8 slices on a Celeron processor with Smart SDR 3.8, and I get everything out of it that I need, right? So them putting higher, more complex hardware, and I don't think the digital to analog chips are, those chipsets have gotten so great that, I mean, the sensitivity on the 67 or the 6000 series is still way up there, right? What are they going to do? It seems to me that this needs to be a piece of hardware that they currently do not have in their inventory. That
would make the most sense.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, again, you got to look at it like Rob said, you got to look at it from the military standpoint. And is the military interested in QRP or a VHF? Maybe a VHF UHF. There may be some VHF UHF applications in the military still. I mean, that would make sense to me. But I think you're right, Kyle. I think it would have to have it. It wouldn't be a very good HF radio unless there's some major improvements made, and they've already got one of the top flagship radios that are out there. So it makes sense to add something to the line that does not currently exist.
Right.
So, yeah.
Somebody in one of the forums said, "Oh, it's a tuner genius and an amplifier and a
all in one
and a switch all in one." And I'm like, what? Why would they do that? That is. And then another comment was they're going to buy MFJ. That's great.
Oh, that's good.
yes. Yeah.
That's really good.
We're going to integrate everything MFJ put into one radio.
Oh,
I like it. Well, Don's in the chat. So Don's got all of it, right? So he's got an on, and he's got the Hermes, and he's obviously got Flex. Don, I don't think there's anything really new under the sun that the on has at the SDR capability level that Flex isn't very close to, if not right there with some of the models. So that's where I keep going back to is SDR's improved, but there hasn't been that much improvement in the last 5 years or so that you're like, oh, we have to upgrade to that. Yeah. Right. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Somebody in the chat will correct me. I'm hoping.
I agree. I mean, the main upgrades are going to come in software, right? And it's every time that, Flex comes out with a new piece of software, it's they say it's like getting a new radio, but it's another feature, or I understand that they're fixing a lot of bugs too, but the filters, right? That was a feature that they added, and that was great. That was something that you could literally download and within a couple of minutes have almost a brand new radio with a brand new feature that you didn't have 20 minutes ago, right? So everyone's saying, or not everyone, but there's a lot of people saying, well, really what's underneath that cover is just a plaque saying that Smart SDR 4.0 is coming out. And I don't think that's correct. I think it's a piece of hardware that they are releasing and
Yeah,
it's not an HF radio. I think it's.
I hope
I
that
think-
you're right.
I think it's a.
Well-
I think it's a 60 or a 9700 killer. That's what I think.
Unless I've been
That's what
wanting
I think it is,
for a
too.
long time, I've been wanting a
I think
QRP
it's
rig
going to
from
be
them.
but in the form of transverters. That's the way I think they're going to attack it.
Oh,
Oh, inside.
That's
Like
interesting.
a box of transverters you plug to the back of your Flex.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's possible.
Exactly.
Oh, that
I mean,
could be.
It's an idea.
I'm thinking more that you might be right about the VHF and the 9700 killer because of what we've been saying. It's like to make a flagship device that's twice as good as the 6600. That's not going to be easy. Like something
No.
that really makes you go, wow, that it will have to be really surprising with a bunch of features that came down from their military contracts and whatnot. But even then, it's really hard to do like anything but incremental improvements there.
Yeah.
Whereas if a whole new VHF and up radio, like gigahertz radio, might not make the most sense in terms of market share or whatnot, but it's a kind of thing that brings reputation to the brand and brings you new customers, and they'll sell as many as they can build. And it's not like they have a factory that has to build 50,000 of them in a run to make it work. So they can sell like hundreds of or a few thousands of the 97,000 killer, and that would be that's where they probably can get the best bang for their buck in terms of innovation and branding. Would be a gigahertz radio.
Who just shared their screen on the back end? Was there somebody who just shared?
Oh,
their
that was
screen?
me. That was me.
Okay. Do you want me to? Do you mean to highlight this?
I didn't know if you could see it or not.
Yeah, I can. Hang on. Hang on.
I'm not sure how this software works here. Using
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Love that.
bad.
That's one of the Discord channels I'm in. I'm not going to say who shared that, but it was gold.
We've got a number of memes on that on the Discord on
Yeah,
my Discord. One that's a little hard is it's the outside the building that has MFJ, and then somebody slapped a Spirit Halloween sticker.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
That's kind of hard.
that's kind of
great.
yeah.
That's a great meme, Jason.
Yeah. I didn't come up with that. I found it, but I will pull an N8YO and reshare a meme any day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That or prom dresses, right?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Mike about that.
every empty warehouse is just full of prom dresses this time of year. Let's see. Let me go through the chat here and see if there's anything of interest. So Aaron, a lot of military stuff. Also deals with UHF and up. Could see this big trickle down in tech, the form of a 9700 killer. Yeah. Let's see. There was somebody said that we need to get not a Rubicon in here, and maybe they're going to release a GMRS radio.
That's it. Full SDR GMRS.
Yeah.
That's definitely what that market needs
Yeah.
for their Jeeps.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
GMRS guys would go gaga over a $4,000 radio.
Oh,
they would
yeah.
just
kidding?
eat that up.
love it. They love
Yeah.
it. So I realized what I was talking about. So SDR Play, right? They dropped a new SDR or newish, and it was like a 14-bit SDR, right? And I think previously a lot of them were 12-bit. What's the FlexRadio SDRs? Are they all
I think it's-
12-bit? Are they up to 14? I'm assuming
I could have
they're
sworn that
14.
they were 16-bit.
Okay, that's more reasonable. So I'm guessing that like, what's the next step? 18 at that
they're
point.
16. Yeah, they're 16-bit.
Okay, so I guess that's where I'm going. Is you'd have to have some kind of incremental step to
And even
warrant. Go
Not
ahead.
just that, they could come up with and say something like, we came up with this noise reduction algorithm that uses AI that's amazing, but it requires 18 bits
Oh,
There you go. There
yeah.
you go.
to work. That could be the thing, because you don't right now for it would have to be super advanced signal processing to reduce distortion and
Right.
noise, and that cannot be done with 16 bits. Because
Yeah, but
there's
would-
some suggestions
would
in the
you-
chat, like about ALE and noise and things like that. Those are all software. Those are all things that will come up in a new version of Smart SDR. But unless it requires 18 or 24 bits or whatever the best it can do is.
Yeah.
And they don't really do front end RF components, so like pre-selector, attenuators, all that. It's all
just
SDR.
filters.
So, but the
SDRs
filters,
and
is
filters.
it a physical filter? They use physical filters in some cases. Okay.
Yeah. No. The 6600. The big difference with the 64, besides having 2 transmit units, is what they call contest grade filters. Like it has built-in filters on the contest bands, not all.
Yeah.
Okay.
That are really, really good.
So that's like roofing filters.
Yeah. No, not roofing for your signal. No. There's like
band
triplexers.
filters.
Band filters.
Oh, okay. Band filters.
Band
pass filters.
Band pass. Okay.
Yeah. And just on the contest bands. So my 6700 has got 5 contest filters. 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. I guess it's got 6.
And you can do like SO2R, like 2 radios transmitting. You listen on one band and transmit on the other in a contest. Mm-hmm. You barely see the noise, the interference. The filters are really, really good at that. But again, they could make one with filters are 10 dB better. Like 10 dB, like that's the trick with dBs. Is like 10 dBs is amazing, but at the same time, you can barely hear the difference. Mm-hmm. And that I don't think they can do more than 10 dBs of improvement in their selectivity or filtering or whatever. Any measurement that has dBs in it, they're not going to be able to just jump and do more than 5 or 10 at a time. So yes, it's great if they improve it, but it's not going to be an amazing new product.
But Sebastian, your idea of that you have to go to 24-bit, right? We're announcing a new radio and it's going to be 24-bit. And in order for you to get the capabilities of new AI and all of these new signal processing features,
that's why we're doing it.
Right. That's why we're doing it. Yeah. And therefore, that is the premium thing that you need to do is to.
It's a future-proof radio.
Right.
The problem I've got with that idea, though, the problem with that is you're already required to run this on a PC where you've got 64-bit capability. So why, again, wouldn't you just do that in software?
No, I mean, the thing is, the Flex does that internally in software. When you control a computer with the Flex, all the data processing is done on the Flex, not on your computer. Smart SDR, literally, the API, the background, like what you see here in my screen, the waterfall, all of that, that's not Smart SDR doing it on your PC. The Flex literally sends a movie stream, a video stream.
Right. But my point is, you've got access to a 64-bit processor where every other radio in the market that's not a true full SDR, where they don't have that, right? So you've got an advantage there where you
already have a great, it will have to be like the sampling rate of the SDR.
That's what we're talking about. It's not necessarily
have to go up and that's more like thinking backwards. If they announce a super high-end radio that has 24 bits, it could be because they want to justify future proofing and more advanced abilities. Also as a way to, this is why we're bringing a radio that costs, I don't know, $8,000 and is going to be amazing. This is our true flagship. I mean, the other manufacturers all have radios that are their flagships, but what they do is they put more buttons in them. That's basically it. Like you go to ICOM and to Kenwood and Yaesu, like their flagship radios are basically the good radios with a bunch more buttons and maybe a larger screen. And that doesn't work for Flex because basically they have the Maestro and that's as many buttons as they're going to put in the thing. That's the rest is in your computer. So that could be the flagship thing that they inherited from the military projects. It's like, we develop a new chip that uses 24-bit processing, DSP, whatnot, twice the capacity of the current Flex line or 4 times faster. Like we use the new Apple Silicon M1s. We're having the M4 in our radio, something like that. And then, yes, this is amazing. It's going to be the radio for your next 20 years.
Yeah. What is the processing architecture that's in the Flex?
I think they have an ARM.
It's ARM already. Okay, so
it's probably ARM, and
it's,
they have both an ARM CPU and like an FGPA, field gate array.
Yeah.
That does the actual signal processing, and then the ARM processor does the next round of processing. Because it does what your SDR apps do on your computer normally.
Right.
Yeah. Because there's a whole bunch of talk about, do they have Linux support? Well, they don't have Linux support from an SDR perspective, but anybody can write it because they've got APIs. And then Jason says, isn't the OS Linux? Yes. So all of the boxes, from what I understand, run Linux as
internally.
Their internal, right? But then the early Maestros all ran Windows CE, and I'm assuming that the new Maestro runs some type of Linux.
I believe Michael went over that on my stream a couple weeks ago. I believe, it was Windows CE because they were just Dell tablets.
Right.
The reason, because people were talking about how they were affected by the chip shortage because the Maestro was out of production for a couple years. That was because Dell stopped making an 8-inch tablet, and they tried to source a tablet from other manufacturers, and they were unable to find one that was 8-inch. They didn't want to go to 7 inches. There's a lot of radios out there that already have a 7-inch screen. So they didn't want to go to 7 inches. They didn't want to downgrade or downsize, I should say, the screen on their M series radios or on their Maestro. So they were looking for an 8-inch tablet, and they couldn't find one. So they finally just kind of built their own thing on the back end. And I believe Michael said that the new system is running Linux or Unix on the back end, even though Smart SDR is a Windows platform. But the actual operating system on the Maestro itself is Linux, I believe. Yeah. But the old Maestro was Windows. You could see when it boot up, you could see you're like, oh, damn, that's
basically running a special version of Smart SDR for that.
Right. Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to. So Ward has got my Maestro. I really need to get another one and put it here in the shack because
I've one for sale.
Your old one,
crispy.
Yeah, my old one's
looking
good.
Not
my new one.
Yeah, I need to get a new one so I can use the HDMI out. I think that I could use that on the streams a little bit more effectively because I like to. I don't have the full control. I need to. Actually, what I need to do is I need to get FR Stack running up properly. I don't have it configured to its full potential. So, but then I really don't want to spend more money than I already have.
Well,
too bad.
So that's a good point. Maybe we look at this from a different direction, right? What would make you spend more Flex money, right? What could be under that, under that sheet that would actually make you open your wallet?
If that was a UHF, VHF to run satellites or a transverter, I could literally get behind that and put that at the contest station and work satellites from the mountaintop. That would be awesome. Like then the problem is if I bought that, let's say that radio is now $6,000, right? I've got another $4,000 in antennas and
I was going to say, and you better put a convertible top on your wallet because you're going to have to open it all the way up.
That's a $10,000 dime right there on getting everything situated for running satellites.
And I could see the argument of that just being a transverter then. Totally.
Right. That's what I think it's going to be.
But I disagree. I don't think a satellite radio will cost $6,000. I think that
the transverter, whatever that would cost.
Yeah. Even with that, just like
a couple grand.
Just imagine the 6400, but with tuned for different frequencies, like with the transmit path and the receive, like the little bit of electronic of radio RF circuitry will be tuned for different bands. It doesn't have to be much more than that.
But then you'd hypothetically be walling off a large part of your consumer base to that. You'd be telling them you must go buy this box that will be the one that does the higher frequencies versus make a transverter, anyone could
Yes.
have that in the chain for any of their radios and get them up to that frequency, which that would be a way better marketing angle, because then you say, you don't have to replace the Flex you have, just add this box to the back and boom, there you go.
And do it in the Flex way, right? It's network connected. It's there's no configuration, right? There's nothing you don't
even know you're doing it other than you change bands and boom, now I'm on 440.
It could be a box of transverters and tuners for those bands.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a nice.
And then you help out your market on the switch, because now you are going to go off of HF, however many HF antennas you have. Now you need to flip this over to get to the VHF, UHF stack, or whatever your satellite chaser is going to be. There you go. Then hypothetically, they could make a sat tracker that could do it the Flex way, right? And then that would interface with your Yaesu rotor or whatever the heck, because you got a Flex, you're buying the Yaesu rotor, and then whatever your SL antennas are. That's there's your whole marketing line for a couple of years.
Right. Yeah, because I would assume that whatever radio they are coming out with, it's going to have peripherals that they are going to be able to, we'll introduce this in 2025 or 2026. Here's a new radio, or here's a new peripheral in 27, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is fun. It's
be fun to see.
Yeah. It is always great whenever a large manufacturer has a big announcement at Hamvention, Orlando, Huntsville, whatever the case may be. It brings excitement. It's look at us. It's a Friday night. It's almost 8:00. I'm sitting here talking about ham radio and what the new Flex radio is going to look like. So,
how sad are we?
Well, yeah.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
It is what it is.
I don't know if you noticed the latest QST magazine came out. I mean, you found out about the Flex announcement in the Facebook groups, because Flex themselves ended up posting there.
Right.
But apparently they had the latest QST issue, which that's a photo that Josh has there, I think.
Right.
Has a full page ad. I noticed that.
Yeah, it's the same thing on the Facebook.
Yeah, it's the same ad.
The ICOM ad had a more subtle thing. I don't know if it would. I think I was checking that this was last week, not the latest. So it was the last month's QST magazine. I'm trying to open it here online, but page is not working.
Are you saying that the ICOM's got an announcement too?
They had a full page ad.
Oh.
That had, let me see if I can find it, all of the radios, and then in the top right corner, here it is.
Here,
I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, share your screen. This might turn into an ICOM discussion.
Yeah. Here, share. So this is QST Field Day. This is, look at this.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Right here, they have a mystery box.
Oh, yeah.
This is not as much as a signal as what Flex did.
Well, it says the wait is almost over. Discover at
2024
Hamvention. I mean, that's right.
I mean,
I don't know what they're trying to do.
Enhance.
Like, see.
Unlike the last 2 or 3 years of Hamvention, maybe we'll actually get a couple, 3 new things that are being announced at Hamvention this year. That'd be fun to see more than just one big thing.
I want Kenwood to announce the replacements for the 710.
So Kenwood, in my speculation, and through a little bit of sleuthing at Orlando, Kenwood was, I believe Kenwood was planning on a mobile version of the D74 back in the day, back before COVID happened.
Oh, they announced that on my show that I had them on.
So
after
yeah,
they're coming out with a mobile. It's happening.
Well, they're coming out with a mobile, but will it be the mobile?
Basically.
Will it be the D75 version of the mobile? So
there was hints towards that.
Yeah,
that it's going to have all the features you want, and so that's going to be which is great. That was a fantastic radio.
New mobile new mobile was said a while ago, but it's what are they going to have? So that's what the speculation is. So
I love my 710 so much I have 3 of them. I have one new and
great radio.
I have one new in the box that I've never
There's a
opened.
bunch of things that drive me crazy, but it's a great radio.
Yeah. I love mine. All three of them. Sophie's choice.
I'd like to see an icon with an ID 5200, which is the ID 52 mobile version of the ID 50, the upgraded ID 5100. So I think that was kind of where, if you look at the numbers, they had the ID 51 and the ID 51A, and then the ID 52 and the HT line. And the 5100 came out, and the 5200 never came out because, again, that was probably going to happen in 2020, maybe 2021. I don't know. Just kind of like looking at the numbers and seeing how things transgress. And I was like, well, that kind of makes sense that would have happened, but everything got pushed back a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Nick has got the correct answer in the chat. I believe Flex is killing ham radio.
Yeah,
with their internet boxes. That's not real ham radio.
People doing pota on FT8 on Flexes are killing ham radio.
I'm okay with that.
It's too
How
funny.
are they? Have you seen people doing that, or they got like something in their van or something like that? Or they're literally just dragging Flexes out to the park.
It's like for the radio in the box, like the DXpeditions where they put the Flex on the island.
Yeah.
And then they go and operate in
from the boat.
From the boat.
From the boat. Yeah.
I did last year for New York QSO party. I operated from the top of a mountain. You can drive to it was like a 5-minute hike. I had my Flex inside a big plastic bin with 200 milliamp hour batteries that a few friends helped me carry up the hill. But I operated 12 hours and it was drizzling, so it's like you don't want to. The box was good, the Flex was safe, but yeah, I operated 12 hours on the top of a mountain. It was pota, so it was doing pota too. No FT8, only voice. So so I was not killing ham radio. But it was it's like the Flex is not a bad thing for the ribs, the radio in the box. They have Flexes inside them.
Yeah,
that's what the
original
NorCal DX guys. I saw that.
I think they're coming out with a smaller version that might have a different radio. I don't know the newer smaller rib, but the mini rib or something like that they call it. The baby rib I would have called it, but
it's the Mick rib.
The Mick rib.
No, yeah. But it's a great radio for that. It's like I have a plan of figuring out how to put my Flex in one of those like the Milwaukee cargo boxes that can snap. Yeah. I'm using not the Milwaukees, but the what's their name? The Tough Built. They're slightly bigger than Milwaukee, and they're perfect size for that. And I built my battery box in one of those, just thinking about doing another box for the Flex inside that you can roll to a field day or a special thing like that. Not for regular pota, not your back of the truck pota, but a special thing. You can roll it there, and the Flex is light. It's not that heavy, and it fits in a box, and you don't need anything to come out of the box other than a little bit of Ethernet.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if Flex just announced that they're just the new radio is just a radio that doesn't have a case on it, and then you can just
a rack,
3D
rack
print.
mount.
Yeah, you can 3D print it. Right. You want to put it in a rib? Sure, put it in a rib.
Huh.
Here's some STL files.
That's funny.
But let's make bets. What do you think, Kyle? Is what would you bet is exactly what they're going to announce?
UHF VHF type radio. That's
what's going to be what's the model name?
It's N8000.
8,000, and what's the price?
I'm going to say 3,500.
All right.
No. All right. I don't know ICOM that well and haven't kept up on prices. How much is a new 9700 right now?
I think it's under 2,000, right?
1,600.
Yeah, $1,700.
1,700. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say 2,500 then. 2,500.
25.
Two slices, UHF, VHF, and full duplex, VHF, UHF, and 1.2 gigahertz, $2,500.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's no fun in betting because I agree with what you're saying. So, but that I think that's probably the most likely outcome.
That's my. Here we go. I need to. That's my speculation right there. I need to put the speculation stream banner up, so nobody. So therefore, Mike Walker doesn't ban me from all FlexRadio.
Right.
Mike, my joke about Polo being the new that was just joking. It was satire. No copyright intended.
I don't know anything about. They have not given me any. Oh, Michael Walker. Too bad you didn't invite me.
I asked you if you invited him. You never answered me. I was like,
he wouldn't have shown up.
He loves to come on to streams.
Mike, you want to come on
and talk about what he can't talk about.
So here's my guess before Mike comes on.
Come on, Mike.
Let's
I
just
think
throw all the speculations out.
Yeah, I think we're going to do the 5-band, right? The multi-band transverter, right? That will hook up to the existing equipment for $2,500.
That would be fun. That would be a fun thing, I think.
I'd rather see that as an add-on than anything.
That would make me happier than the radio itself, because it's something I will probably want to add to my. I mean, if the price is the same, if it's $2,500 for a radio that supports all the bands, or $2,500 for transverters, I might as well get the radio. But if what you get for the transverters is much better than what you have on a 9700, for example, in terms of
right,
bands
but you could probably use those transverters with other radios, just like you can use their amp with other radios. So
Mike,
right.
check your email. If you want to come on the stream, come on and check your email. Check both your personal email and your work email.
Yeah, because Joseph's quoting you.
Don't check your work email, because that can get you in trouble. Go to your personal email and just set your blur filter and use a different name.
I've like a voice changer protecting the identity.
The AI voice changer.
Yeah, that's the problem. Michael's voice is very recognizable. Damn it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Don, I saw your comment about Q5. That's what I think they'd be competing against, right? But they can do it in the Flex manner and make it a whole lot easier and make it much more streamlined, right? I think it'd be a direct competitor to that and probably crush it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like Joseph said, it's probably they totally discontinued the 6700, and oh my gosh, here we go, here we go.
I am not set up for this. I'm sitting in a lazy boy chair watching a hockey game. So,
you don't have to be set up for this, Mike. You're the only person who doesn't have to be set up for this.
You just have to add and do color commentary.
Can you give us a warmer or colder?
Shake your head.
Right.
Shake your head.
Warm and cold.
No. I just saw.
He's in Canada. It's all cold.
Yeah.
So I can't even reach the remote to turn down the TV. I don't know. I guess I could get up.
In max relax.
This is live TV, people. This is in the moment.
This is great. So yeah, we've been rapping for an hour, Mike. On you need to go up and watch Team Replay on all the speculation that's going on here.
I heard 10 minutes of it. It was awesome.
So just shake your head, Mike. Is it an air fryer?
Is it an air fryer?
I can say that pretty much everything discussed has been on the table at one point in time or another.
Okay.
Wow, a Flex
air fryer too?
Sweet.
Well, except the air fryer.
Oh.
We're all hams too, right? We all know what we want. So.
Right. Well, I mean, some people were saying, well, they're going to announce the Maestro C. I'm just like, you've been living underneath a rock. They've already announced that. That's already
Shipping.
out. Yeah.
Let me go mute TV.
I am excited and cannot wait until Hamvention to see what you guys are going to announce. I'm assuming you're going to announce it on Thursday during the Flex banquet, right?
That part is correct.
Yeah.
I have my banquet ticket.
So we will know Thursday night basically what the announcement is, correct?
Yeah, it should. Yeah. And we have I'm going to take you away. If you're not coming, we have a really cool speaker that night. We're going to talk about Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, so Rod's presentation, I've heard he gave that presentation to our club. It is awesome. That presentation is amazing. How they are trying to find Amelia Earhart's plane and what happened to her and her companion that was flying. That presentation is amazing. Go see it. It's great.
I'm looking forward to it. And then
Yeah.
Rob, the next
banquet
night,
tickets went up in price. I have a friend who's selling his, so hit me up if you need a banquet ticket.
They're scalping it in front of the doors.
Yeah, they're gonna scalp them now. Yeah.
Because in all honesty, we closed tickets today because it's like a wedding. We had to get the numbers in today.
Yeah.
But if you really want to come and you didn't buy a ticket, you have to email. Just email me at mike@flexradio.com. I'll look tomorrow and I'll get the numbers updated. For you can't buy them online because we shut the store down. But
is Rod Thursday or is Rod Friday?
Friday.
Friday. Gotcha.
That's a really good way to drum up attendance for the banquet by everybody now knowing that they're going to release what the announcement is at the banquet. So, hey guys, you got an exclusive here from Kyle, or at least, wherever it's been mentioned. Get your tickets if you haven't. That's awesome.
You can't imagine how much work this is too, because you've got so many balls in the air. You've got to queue up emails. We use mailing tools. I've got to queue those all up next week because I don't want to have to worry about having to do something while I'm sitting at the banquet. So it releases at, let's say 8:01.
Yeah.
The press, it's a lot of friggin' work.
You got all those YouTubers holding their cameras up as the announcement gets made.
God.
Live streaming
Wi-Fi.
Live streaming the banquet.
Wi-Fi.
Good thing I don't have to get my hair done.
Then you got all
Very
those
efficient.
OMs looking at you like, don't put me on stream, or I don't want to be on camera.
I didn't sign a release for this.
Yeah, you'd think you'd find less Luddites at a Flex Radio banquet, but sadly, that's not usually the case.
Nah, it's pretty cool. We take a lot of heat, we think, but we this just goes with the job, right? It's
Right.
horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Jason knows what it's like.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna. I got a couple. I'm gonna finger quote troll friends. I'm gonna sit with them so they can chew me out all through dinner, and
Oh boy.
I have a great time at that dinner. It's a long day for us because we have to run. We're setting up. Thursday's not so bad. Friday's brutal because the Hamfest closes at 5, and it opens at 6. That's all you can do to get to the hotel and maybe shower and get dressed and run down. So it's a lot of stuff. I'm going to get to go home at 2 like you guys.
Yeah. Joseph, I was going to answer your question, but Josh answered it.
That's good.
Sorry.
Yep. Well, Mike, I think we're all excited. Obviously, we've been rapping here for an hour about what is underneath the... Can you tell us one thing? Can you tell us that does the cover that is on the announcement, is that the actual product, or is this going to be like,
Is that a fake? But that's an AI generated.
Yeah, is
photo.
that yeah.
Give me a box covered in cloth.
How about that? Can you give us
Do you know
that?
how much horsepower it takes to run an AI machine? How much electricity?
So you're saying that it's not AI. The device doesn't have AI.
God, wouldn't that be cool?
It would be cool. That's what we've been rapping about. If you guys could this is what we talked about. I don't know if you heard this, but Sebastian had a really good idea on, okay, so all of the Flex receivers right now are 16-bit, right? What?
Maybe. I don't know. I have to look it up. I can't
Okay,
remember.
so
I'm making it up. I'm not basing this in reality.
I thought I read that on the
Don't
internet.
worry.
I thought that I found. But anyway, okay,
It
so
must be true.
it's on
We read
the
it on the
internet
internet.
somewhere.
yeah, right.
Right. It's on the
So
internet.
you go through the next bit iteration. Let's say that's 24-bit or 32-bit, right? And in order for the AI software to work, it needs that extra 8 or 16 bits, and that is the reason why you want to upgrade, is because you get to the next piece of software that has AI capabilities built into it, and then it's doing all the signal processing and all of the contest filtering and everything, all of that stuff through AI. And then it just keeps learning and learning and learning. And the more you let the radio run, the smarter it gets.
So you're saying it's got its own built-in language learning module?
Yeah, why not?
That's
Sure.
crazy.
But I have to say, Kyle, that what you just said sounds like it was written by ChatGPT.
Yeah. Sebastian's ChatGPT.
I can't say this here because I've told all my friends you got to go read this book. It has nothing to do with ham radio, but the book is called The Coming Wave by Mustafa Solomon.
Oh, no,
Mustafa Solomon or something. I think I'm mispronouncing his last name. I'll tell you what, it's friggin' scary.
Oh,
wow.
And we're only like 2 years from the genie being really out of the bottle.
Oh, really?
And the amount of power these things consume is phenomenal.
This has all been predicted since 1984 Terminator.
And the Matrix is more accurate.
Well, the Matrix. The Matrix. Yeah. But, leaving aside the time travel thing, the Terminator is probably going to come true here in a few years.
I'll tell you guys a story in the booth. But anyway, what's the other one? Blade Runner. When you have to sit there and interview?
Yeah.
We're like 2 years. We're within 2 years of you not being able to tell you're having a dialogue with a sentient being.
Yeah.
2 years.
What have you seen that robot that they have at the Sphere where
I can't meme.
Let's be honest here. It's pretty easy to tell you're not having a dialogue with a sentient human being if you're on YouTube these days.
Or 80 meters.
I mean,
We're already there.
Or 80 meters.
Yeah. Or 4 or 7,
anywhere on Facebook. So
yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I think that Michael very smartly deflected the questions about FlexRadio. That's okay.
Hey, I'm so honored you guys did this. This is awesome, though, because, as they say, there's no such thing as bad press. But thank you for bringing it up.
Right, he gets it. He gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. You should talk to other.
You
should talk to some of your other competitors. They don't
get
it.
Right. Yeah, they don't get it.
They don't get it.
There's been nothing negative said on this stream. So
no,
we're not really bad press anyway.
And we're honestly saying this is all speculation. We don't know. We're just having fun.
Well, other than what the heck was FlexRadio thinking doing an air fryer?
Right.
Right.
But, well, the best comment was from I think Aaron earlier about 10 minutes into the stream. It said FlexRadio has run out of ideas. All the developers are sitting in the chat writing down everything we say right now. I'm like, that's actually a pretty good idea.
For some odd reason,
I
think that they have a whiteboard that has 4,000 more ideas than what we came up with.
Hopefully it's more than a whiteboard. Hopefully it's something a little more
I'm giving you royalty-free rights to the ideas I had today, including the air fryer. As long as I get one.
I was thinking margarita.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
After the contest over, it's set for when the contest over. It starts up the margarita. Yeah. It's ready to go with the contest.
And it is compatible. It's compatible. It's like it's a way to cool down your amplifier.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, there you go.
So
Powered by margaritas.
Yeah.
It's
liquid cooled amplifier. Just run margarita mix.
Maybe that has to be like a coffee machine then, right?
Sponsored by Jose Cuervo.
Yeah.
That's probably pretty efficient cooling.
The heat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Jose Cuervo power supply.
Yeah.
I've still been not thinking about this all week because I actually bought a new camera and I'm looking at the videos of the other, like the versions of me in the Nikon ZF world, trying to go, how did they do that?
What camera did you buy?
Nikon ZF.
Okay. I don't think anybody on the call is a Nikon guy.
Oh, I'm all Nikon. Have
Are
been
you?
since.
You're actually
I was for a while.
Yeah, you do more stills than video, right, Mike?
Yeah, I'm a stills guy.
Okay.
Yeah, big stills guy. Yeah.
Don says he's a Nikon guy.
I'm gonna get back
Someone
into
in the chat ask if it does 60 meters. No, the Nikon cameras don't do 60 meters.
Nice.
Really long lens.
A lot of horsepower in those things now. Oh well.
All right.
Wish me luck with my Maple Leaf.
Oh,
hey, you got the shirt on. I saw. Yeah, you're really committed.
Oh, yeah.
You're watching it, and you got the shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm watching the Vancouver game, but the Leafs came back from 3-1, so it's Boston. It's 3-3, and there isn't a Maple Leaf fan. We hate Boston as a hockey team. It's just it's a fun rivalry, but we'd be happy to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
hopping on.
Yeah.
Are you guys all gonna be? You all gonna be in Dayton?
Yep. I think everyone's going to be at Dayton. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Mike, we'll give you the last word. What do you want to say? Anything about Flex or the banquet or anything?
I haven't heard my cryptocurrency counter going ding, ding, ding. Nobody's been sending me anything. So no. Oh, the banquet. So the banquet's 2 nights. Thursday, Friday. We've got the Amelia Earhart. I can't remember. It's called. Josh, you do because you're.
It's K0M.
Yeah.
I know Rod's Blackstone. He used to be our director before Art took over.
Oh, cool. And the way we found him was our guy in charge of our commercial world just mentioned him and said, "You got to get this guy." He was a friend of his, so we can invite. And we were scratching our heads for a while. And then Friday, if you've never been into a talk about the Clean Signal Initiative, that Rob is Rob Church is on the board of. There's many of them. Steve Hicks N5AC is, and it's all about. We spent so much time cleaning up the receivers and making them quieter and better, and they'll be able to filter, and we're not bothered by splatter and AGC pumping and all these things we've all grown up with. And if you're a new ham, you have no idea probably what we're even talking about. But now we've not really focused on the transmitter, so we have things to look forward to where the transmitter signals are just getting cleaner and there's more power in the transmitter signal. And Rob's going to talk about stuff like that too. So it's quite an education if you're not familiar with, improving your transmitter spectral purity.
So Rod Bloxham's call sign is K0DAS. And I think if you put into the old Google K0DAS and Amelia Earhart, you'll find some snippets of his presentation. It is great. I was thinking at first, I was like, all right, what is this presentation going to be about? Is it going to be about ham radio? Is it going to be about this? Is it going to be that? It was amazing. I was so enthralled with it after, and you got so many people commenting on it, how good it was. I highly recommend it.
Kyle, I got to go.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Jason.
Later.
Cheers.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks, guys. This was fun. I love speculating, especially on radios that I love. So I think that's it, guys. Anything else you want to talk about?
Invite me some other time when you do it with another vendor. I got 1,000 ideas.
Well, I only do this with FlexRadio. I really don't have ends with anybody else because I don't use their radios are not exclusively. Like I have Yaesu HF radios. I have Kenwoods. I don't have any ICOM radios, but I don't have the relationship with these other vendors like I do with you, Mike, and other people at Flex. So it makes it a little bit easier for me to rap about Flex because I have the relationship,
Well, it's great to be part of it, and I'm really happy they let me do it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah. All right, very good. We will find out what the actual Flex announcement is on Thursday night. I'm assuming once you guys announce it, the forums and the chats will go wild. I'm sure there will be social media out there on what actually it is.
Anyone at the banquet will get a free one in a little goodie bag at the.
That's it.
Yep. Especially if it's a mountain topper, right?
Yeah,
mountain topper size Flex. That's right. Mountain topper size Flex. That's the other thing, Michael, we're thinking about for you is a tiniest QRP radio. No interface. There's just a Cat 5 in the back. That's the only interface.
Guess you came up with a 10-watt radio, a little smaller. You wanted full duplex VHF, UHF satellite,
solar panel, and Mike, the Ethernet is a counterpoise.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, you do know that Cat 5 is a nice 100 ohm feed, right? If you take a twisted pair.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
We didn't have anybody throw out 1.25 meters. We didn't. I'm surprised.
Oh, that's it. That's definitely what it is.
True.
You're right.
That's true.
That used to be my
the
favorite
market
band.
is screaming for a 1.25 in the United States.
Or
that's
a 4 meter. Let's just make it a 4 meter.
It's a dual band 4 meter, 1.25 meter. That's
no,
it.
No, even better. It uses transverters to get up to 4 meters.
That's it.
You forgot about 8 meters.
Who uses 8 meters?
It's coming out. There's places in Europe. I can get an 8-meter license in Canada.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Interesting.
I got a quick one for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Just for everybody watching, I will be interviewing Dr. Edison Fong tomorrow on my show,
Ooh.
so I'm gonna have fun talking to him. It's finally I get a chance. I talked to him on the phone accidentally. I'll talk about that story live tomorrow, but I'm very excited to speak with him because I've never really gotten the opportunity to do that live. So, thanks.
Yeah, that is that is awesome. 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific, right?
Yep, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah, Ed Fong from the great Ed Fong Antennas.
That's
It's
right.
gonna be great. I can't wait to hear your story on how you accidentally talked to him on the phone. That's great.
I'll tell you after. Stick around after the show, and I'll tell you, Kyle.
Okay. Don with the super chat. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Let me get up there and highlight you, Don.
I'm going to go,
you.
guys. 7-3. Have a good time.
Thanks,
See you
Michael.
later, Mike. We'll see you in a
See you,
couple of
Mike.
weeks.
See you in 10 days or whatever.
Yep.
good luck with all
Oh
the
my
prep.
God, 10 days? It's that fast?
Yeah,
That's
10
soon?
days.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, I'm not
10
ready.
days.
I got like 16 days worth of work, so see you in 10.
Oh,
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, 7-3.
73.
7-3.
All right, guys. Well, we're getting out of here. Watch Josh's stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, Ed Fong, and yeah, we'll see what the new announcement is at Dayton and go from there. Also, while I've got a lot of you here, on Saturday of Dayton, we have rented out the Troll Pub again, which is in downtown Dayton, and we have the Troll Pub rented from 5 o'clock on until close. So all of us are going to be there. Rob's going to be there. Hosh is going to be there. Sebastian's going to be there probably. We've got Mike, Kate, MRD, Jason, Tank Radio. Who else is going to be there? Carlos.
everybody.
Red.
Everyone on
Steve
YouTube.
Goodgame might show up. Yeah.
If you're not there, you don't matter.
Exactly. I mean, we had.
What else you
This
gotta
is
do?
our 3rd year doing it, maybe our 4th year, and every year it gets better and better, and we get more and more people, and it's a great time. So the only thing that you need to do is if you're going to park in the parking lot across the street, you have to pay the meter because they will put. If you're going to park downtown, you got to pay the meters. They are not free on Saturday night like they are in St. Louis. They go until midnight. So just word to the wise, because I got a $50 parking ticket. Go ahead and pay the $3 parking fee across the street. Yeah, easy. Get on the app, pay the parking fee. You're done. So you don't have to get a $50 parking ticket like I did. So anyway. All right. That's it. Thanks, everyone. Everyone say 73.
See ya.
73.
73, everyone.